I had to stream live now due to technical glitches. We might not even make an hour. Around our area, there is infrastructure challenges, infrastructure network challenges, and hence I had to go live stream now before the scheduled time, and also due to security reasons and security details upon me, I won't be able to disclose exactly which area I am unless those who can track and know what to do and tracking us, they'll be able to know which area I am. Hi, Tato T-Man, my leader. I had to start now because of infrastructure challenges and network challenges around my area. I have changed my residential address. I've moved to another area. Ladies and gentlemen, without wasting any time, kindly please subscribe, follow, hit the like button, and send us those super thanks to grow the channel. This is not my only channel. Each other concerning issues we are facing all over the world, Africa, and of course here in South Africa. People will wonder why I always start by saying the world, Africa, and South Africa. Always the leader follow. Always comes at the end. So South Africa is gradually becoming the leader in the world issues. As we all know that the world is full of dilemmas, just like here in South Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, are we already under attack? Please don't forget to adhere to the community guidelines, guard your privacy, and abide by the community guidelines. Give us thumbs up, subscribe, follow, comment, and also hit the super thanks. Most importantly, if you join the channel, in future I will be only sending special content to members through vlog. I will be making vlogs. And note that, ladies and gentlemen, it can only cost you less than 20 Rand. And let's grow this channel. Let it be massive so that with its funds, we can help where we are able to do so in our communities and in our institutions. Just those are complying with our terms and conditions. I will give you a typical example. Just a typical example. Even the NPA, the act is going to be amended for them to be able to get funding from private institutions. Guess what? It was shocking to everyone to hear NPA asking for funding, suggesting, as it was alleged, it was asking funding from the company that was defrauded a lot of money, Steinhoff, in order to be able to charge the directors of Steinhoff in their individual capacity. Remember, they're not charging Steinhoff, they're charging those who were in charge, because they're the ones who collapsed Steinhoff. And pension funds of the indigents, the elders, the pensioners, disappeared in thin air. So Monjana, thank you, you're welcome. And you, Tato T-Man. Tato T-Man, I suspect as if I suspect that you are my cousin. But anyway, I also have Tato T-Man in my family. Ladies and gentlemen, it is very, very important for us to stand up to protect our democracy. It is not only those who are in power. Let me pause a little bit, ladies and gentlemen. I'll come back now. I really apologize for that. Yeah, this network is really giving us problems. Remember, our infrastructure and network can also be affected by crime. Our network infrastructure, some of the pipes and wires, they are under the surface. And some of them, they go through the oceans, under the oceans. And when there is storm in the oceans, they can also be affected. On land, those people who are doing mining, whether illegal or not illegal, they might interfere with the infrastructure deliberately, so by sabotaging or by mistake, and that will affect the network infrastructure. For example, illegal mining. And legal mining, at least if they've done something wrong, they'll fix it. Not illegal miners. We must note that whilst we are at the top of the surface, as we are now, there are those who are underneath the surface, who live underneath the surface, for other purposes known to them, which my African services, our South African police services must be, ladies and gentlemen, be assisted to fight crime in our country. We need to protect our democracy. Whilst we are helping them, we must guard against bad apples in the system. Whether it is in the police, justice system, correctional services, and judicial system, we must guard against bad people. Even in the legal fraternity, each and every institution or profession or fraternity is got its own challenges with regard to bad and good people. Each and every good thing, ladies and gentlemen, brings bad people or actions with it. We need to guard against that. Even if when technology advances, the underworld, the criminal world, they also advance. So for a typical example, I'm busy trying to develop an app. I have written everything down, and I'm looking forward to my assistance from other people. I'm looking forward to get assistance from other people to develop that app, which is a multi-purpose app. And that app, it will empower everyone, whether that person is indigent or not. It's not about the status, but it's about to empower everyone. Zolihle Monjana, where I'm trying to look for them as well, but they're supposed to be when you check on the right hand corner at the top, you might find them. When you open the live stream. So, for example, ladies and gentlemen, our country is under attack. Murole Mutovelo, hi, how are you? Our country is under attack from terror of all sorts of crimes. In the Eastern Cape, there are those people who are suspected of carrying criminal activities, attacked the police. If I'm not mistaken, maybe the police or the police station. Of course, in the police station, you'll find the police. Reason being, the police were trying to combat crime. The police were patrolling areas of that place. There's no place which is a no-go area for police. Police can enter everywhere, especially on the streets. The police can go anywhere on the streets. In some instances, when such people attacks the police, and when police retaliate, they'll say, no, the police, they think they are above the law. The police must act within the law. Even the citizens must act within the law. If there are bad apples both sides, they must be taken out. Because, and remember, each and every person has a right. When you exercise your right, respect the rights of others. A right goes with a duty. If you have a right, you must have a duty to respect other rights. Remember, we are living in the constitutional democracy. Excuse me. This point even makes me to remember that case of an MKP against the IEC, whereby there was an argument that in the Constitution, there are those other rights that must overstep on other rights. No. In the Constitution, there's no right that must overstep the other rights, but there are those rights which are of importance as compared to other rights, like the fundamental human rights. There's the cornerstone. However, other rights must coexist and support each other. Hence, I'm saying each and every person has a right in terms of the Constitution. But when you're exercising your right, you must and have the duty to respect the rights of others. For a typical example, no one is not supposed to allegedly sell drugs, okay? And no police can just remove people on the street. Okay? However, in their duties, the police exercising their right as the police officers in terms of the Constitution and the Police Act, they have the duty to respect the rights of each and every person they interact with. And in the event that when they interact with other subjects, those subjects are in the process of a commission of a crime or organized crime, it is within the rights of the police to stop them. Remember, when the police approach you, they will ask you, may we search you? If you say no, then they won't search you. However, if the police are of the view that you are in the process of committing a crime, and if they apply for a warrant of search, it will defeat the purpose, because when they come back, you should have already committed the crime or you are gone. So they're entitled to act with minimum force. Remember, everyone has a right to life in terms of the Constitution. No one has the right to take someone's life, even the authority. When the police exercising their duties and their lives are at risk, the police have the right to defend their life. In defending their life, the police must act within the law. When the police undergo training, which I did in the past when I was working for the SAPS from Hillbrow Police Station to Sandton, and end up being in Edenvale as a police reservist. I was trained in Horton, not far from Bramley. On Louis Border Road, at the corner of Louis Border. And there is a building there where they train police officers. I'm not sure if they're still training there, but that's where I trained, Horton Corner. The most important thing when a police officer is on the field is to protect their life. Protecting their life comes first. Protecting their lives comes first because it only comes once. Each and every person has the right to protect their lives than their property. That's why it's a must that when the police officers go on a special operation, they must wear bulletproofs. When they work at night, Metro Police or whoever, when they work at night, they must wear bulletproofs. And in the event that they got shot and they were not wearing bulletproof, they'll face discipline themselves, those police officers. And they might end up not being compensated by the authority because they never adhere to the standing rules. Mkhonazi kodwa TT siyakhumbula kuzalunga baba, kuzalunga. I'm going to say our country is under attack with regard to all sorts of crimes. Fraud, corruption, violent crime, all kinds of crimes. And what are we doing about that? We must protect our democracy. By so doing, I'm not saying we must take law into our own hands. We must work together with the police. Let's say, for example, this gentleman was being accused of defrauding Steinhoff here in South Africa, and when the police were about to were about to arrest him, the allegations that he shot himself, but the body. Where's the body? Where's the body of that person? Because it's a suspect in Steinhoff case. When other people try to find out where is the body, the police don't give them answers. The police, that duty bound, is an indictment upon them to give answers. These people are not saying they're trying to interfere with the police investigation or with the privacy of the family of the deceased who allegedly shot himself. Where is ballistic reports? Where are post-mortems? Okay? The police must account in that regard. Because if there are bad apples there in the SAPS, they must be taken out. If there are bad apples in the government, they must be taken out. Wherever there is bad apples, they must be taken out. Let's go to the Senzo Mewa murder trial, ladies and gentlemen. It was an interesting week of testimonies. And I must applaud defense attorneys there, defense teams. They never backed down. They never feared anything. I mean, how do you bring whaz, whereas whaz is not the one who made an affidavit? The person who made an affidavit is Steyn. I was shocked to see the Honorable Court allowing the state to call whaz. Because whaz is not the one who made an affidavit. And on top of that, whaz want to amend an affidavit viva voce, which doesn't belong to him. There are so many witnesses of the state who are on pension and were brought to court to testify, like Ndlovu. So, what's so special about Steyn not being brought to testify? And suddenly Steyn decided to go on pension in the middle of the trial. And then I suspect that Steyn didn't want to come and testify because he was going to contradict himself. And it was going to be an indictment upon him. There are those police officers who are fair and very good, and they stand their ground. So the state wanted Steyn to change his testimony because Steyn initially said there was communication between Ms. KK and one of the accused, not there was communication between all the accused, whether among themselves or to Ms. KK. So something is fishy here. We need the main reason, the real reason why Steyn cannot come. In terms of the Criminal Procedure Act and the Law of Evidence Amendment Act, the only time whereby the deponent cannot come to court is when that deponent has deceased. Steyn is still alive, like any other witnesses who were called. I think they never had the understanding between him and the prosecution because he was going to contradict himself. Muroli, what's your view on our last court case pertaining to 636, especially what Tatam Gomezul? Now, as the defense, remember, ladies and gentlemen, as the defense, it is the duty of the defense to poke holes in the state case. Okay? The defense doesn't have to prove any innocent, even beyond reasonable doubt. The defense doesn't have to prove any innocent beyond reasonable doubt. Any innocent. The defense doesn't have to prove any innocent, but to poke holes on the state case. If the defense will start proving their innocence, it will be unconstitutional. It is the duty of the state to prove its case beyond reasonable doubt. If the defense start proving their innocence, it will be not in accordance to the Criminal Procedure Act and the Constitution. It's the state that must prove its case. We must note that, ladies and gentlemen, in the Criminal Procedure Act, there are those sections that are good and there are those sections that are not good. As I said, each and every good thing, it got negatives. So those sections which are not good, it means they are not consistent with the Constitution. They must be amended. Because you cannot say the whole Criminal Procedure Act is unconstitutional. No. You cannot blindly reject the whole criminal procedure. There are those sections you can accept, and there are those sections that are unconstitutional. But Constitution cannot be unconstitutional on itself. Sections of the Constitution cannot be unconstitutional among themselves, but they must work together in harmony. They must be used together in harmony. Hence, we have the limitation clause. Sorry for that, ladies and gentlemen. So, I don't see any train smash when legal practitioners ask for crowdfunding. They might have used a wrong word and say donations. No. Supposed to be a crowdfunding. Legal practitioners who have trust accounts, when there is crowdfunding, they'll put those monies in the trust account and account for those monies in whatever they do in a matter. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. But a legal practitioner who doesn't have a trust account cannot have funds that are supposed to be used for future purposes. Because you can't put such monies in your personal account. As a legal practitioner, you have approximately 3 accounts: trust account, business account, and personal account. When you put monies in a business account, it means you are going to deal with a matter once off. Okay, ladies and gentlemen? And when you put the money in a trust account, it means that matter might prolong. And whatever you do on the matter, you account, you tick, you write notes, you write a statement. What have you done on the matter? And from the trust account, whatever you're supposed to charge on what you have done, you take that amount and put it in the business account. In the event that the monies in the trust account are voluminous, ladies and gentlemen, they are voluminous. It means that those monies interest will be forwarded to the governing body. You must listen very careful, please, ladies and gentlemen. Any money that is in the trust account and gains interest, it goes to the governing body of the legal practitioners. And if the money is so huge and is in the trust, the legal practitioner, at the instructions of the client, can invest the money. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that is an investment account on the instructions of the client. Whatever interest comes out from that interest, it goes to the client, not the legal practitioner, the client. And when there is other monies in the trust account and they are invested, without the instructions of the client, there are certain monies that can be invested. Those monies, interest will go to the governing body. Monies in the trust account do not belong to a legal practitioner. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. In the event that a legal practitioner deals with RAF matter or a matter against the Minister of Police, when the Minister of Police pays or RAF pays, the money will go to the trust account. In order to release the monies from the trust account and a signature or a go-ahead from the client, then the legal practitioner will be able to pay him or herself whatever agreement they have with the client, and the capital other money goes to the client. It's very important, ladies and gentlemen, to note that once the monies are in the trust account to be released, the client must give a go-ahead. There must be a signature of the client and agree. Then the attorney will firstly, the legal practitioner will firstly take what is due to them, not physically take it, the amount of money, but transfer the money into the business account. Then, whatever the amount that is belonging to the client from the trust account, it will go to the account of the client. I hope you understand me, ladies and gentlemen. Now, let's go on to this issue of state of affairs in our country. It is upon ourselves as the members of Society of the Republic of South Africa to make sure that our country is protected from all kinds of attacks. There are those people who are working for the state, who are in the authority of the state, they are enemies of the state or the people. There are those people in the communities who are enemies of the state and the people. They commit crimes, heinous crimes. Even those who are in authority, when they commit crimes, they are the enemies of the state and the people. Those who defraud the state, they are enemies of the state and the people, whether they're working for the state or they're in the private sector, in the public, in the communities. So we need to keep that in mind, that those people, for example, who go to other countries and ask for help with regard to the coming elections on 29 May 2024, unless they postpone them, those people, they are the enemies of the people and the state. They put the whole country at risk of being infiltrated by foreign agents. and they can be charged. If it can be proven that they are working with foreign agents. For example, ladies and gentlemen, there is latest reports which I saw them on mainstream news and even the social media, that one country has intelligence report on 5 top South African political parties. What they want to do with that, I wonder. And our country is in the forefront of fighting peace all over the world. Together, yeah. And now, these other countries, they want to blame our country. So we must always be alert, ladies and gentlemen, and be on our toes. Just like in all criminal proceedings, like for example in the sense of Miwa trial, we can see how the case is going. We're not commenting about what will happen and interfering with the court. We are commenting with what happened and our views as reasonable persons. And as reasonable persons, we can see which direction is the matter going. And if it doesn't go that direction, it will send shocking waves. I mean, really, if the state case is so heavy, is so confusing and a lot of contradictions in it, how will it go to another direction, which as reasonable persons we think is not the right direction? As you must remember, this is a neutral channel. We're trying to help each other. We are not taking sides. We're not saying who committed what and who didn't commit what. We are trying to come to a just conclusion, looking at the facts or evidence presented already before the court. And with regard to the evidence of whaz, the court paused it, and let's wait for him to finalize his evidence. Then we'll take it further and discuss about his testimony. I hope Zoli, you did find super thanks. If you didn't find them, I'm gonna look for them when I post this live stream. Then I'll reply to any other questions or submissions made if I'm unable to reply now at the platform because of the issue of network infrastructure. We do have a serious problem around where I am, and I'm happy that ladies and gentlemen, you have joined the live stream. Kindly please do not forget to subscribe, follow, like, and comment. As I said, if you have more questions and it happens that the network cut us off, we'll be able to reply to your questions once the live stream has been uploaded. For example, in the matter of the former speaker, the so-called whistleblower is the person who benefited initially. If you benefit first time, after you made first transaction and then you get contract, Why can't you blow the whistle there and there? So it means that all the enemies of the state, they wasted the state money. The contract awarded to that whistleblower, that so-called whistleblower, must be cancelled and declared null and void, and monies of the state returned. The AFU and the SIU must take actions, because you cannot come and say there was an offense committed, but you still benefit. That's where wasted expenditure and unaccountable expenditure comes in with regard to the state funds. It's very important that actions must be taken. And I'm very concerned, ladies and gentlemen, with Section 105 capital letter A, and especially Section 204 of the Criminal Procedure Act. It renders the trial unfair, and Section 204 in particular, it is unconstitutional, because people who commit crimes together, and on the day, someone, in order to save their faces, will turn up to some state witnesses and testify against their co-suspects. Whereas only to find out that the ones who benefited a lot in the commission of the offense. Same thing also applies in the United States of America, whereby the president, the ex-president Donald Trump, and he also running to be the president this year, is facing criminal charges. And some of the people want to testify against him. Those people who are alleged to have committed the crime or the offense with him, they intend to testify against him. It's the same as here in South Africa, Section 204. It goes as well to a situation whereby one political leader, he has matters in courts, attending courts, and also criminal matters, and at the same time, he wants to stand as the leader of the country, and he must canvass. Ladies and gentlemen, so we need to know all these issues arising around us. The question is, are the playing fields of elections level? Are they equal? Whereas other people are busy attending court cases, whereas others are not attending any court cases, and they are canvassing freely. Lastly, ladies and gentlemen, what I cannot understand is the IEC going to the Constitutional Court. What is the IEC going to do in the Constitutional Court? It's not clear. They say they want clarity. Clarity on what? What are they? What clarity they want? Because the Electoral Court judgment is very clear. If they dispute the Constitutional Court, the Electoral Court judgment, they should have made an application to appeal in the court acute, which in this instance, it is the Electoral Court. Are they appealing, reviewing, or seeking clarity? If they are appealing, then it must be very clear, ladies and gentlemen. Because how can you even go to court if you are appealing? How do you go to a higher court without having the reasons of the judgment? And at the same time, you are alleged that you seek clarity. If you seek clarity, then you're not appealing. You seek clarity in terms of on the question of law, the Constitution, and the court, the Honorable Court, Constitutional Court will grant them clarity. And if needs be, if they need to appeal, the Honorable Constitutional Court will send them back to the electoral court. However, if they are reviewing, they must put it clear as well that they are reviewing. One will wonder on whose mandate is the IEC acting. Because if the IEC is not ready for elections, it must say so. It must inform the relevant authorities that they are not ready for elections. Then elections can be postponed and stop dictating to the courts when to give judgment and when to hear matters, how long you must hear the matters, and how long you must give judgment, after how long you must give judgment. No, it doesn't work like that. It means they're interfering with the independence of the judiciary. They're contravening the principle of separation of powers. The courts must act without favor, fear, and prejudice. The courts, when dealing with matters, they must be in sober minds. Ladies and gentlemen, when I say sober minds, I don't mean the honorable courts are, or some of them, when they hear matters, they must have taken some intoxicating substance or liquor. No. When I say the honorable courts, they must be in sober minds. I mean that they must not have influence from any outside factors, and there must be no interference from any outside factors. Now the IEC is acting as it is bullying everyone. It wants everyone to go according to their timetable. It can't be. If they have matters, they must sort them out in the courts. Let them sort them out. Let them flow as they are flowing, without any interference and without putting any deadlines to the honorable courts. It will mean that they are interfering with the judicial system or judiciary's work. Can you imagine if parties are in court and they say the court, I want you to deal with this matter this way, I want to give you this judgment this way, and I want to give you must give this judgment on this time frame. No, doesn't work like that. The IEC must reconsider whatever they're doing in the interest of justice and in the interest of the administration of the Constitution and the laws of the Republic of South Africa, which are very clear that the judiciary is independent. And you must note one thing, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to wrap up. Have noticed that there will be a shutdown in 2 minutes or 1 minute. Section 38, chapter 38 includes the judiciary and the NPA. That's where I found it bizarre. To me, it's bizarre that the NPA and the judiciary are in one chapter. It's bizarre because the NPA is supposed to be independent from the judiciary. And I think in that regard, the Constitution must be amended. I thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me, and I appreciate that. Have a nice evening, and I will see you during the week. Thank you very much. Don't forget to send those super thanks and comment, like, and subscribe to grow the channel for all of us. I thank you.